Hey there, tomato heads. Sorry I am late for our, I'm going to unveil a very small portion of my 2024 grow list. I'm Lauren, otherwise known as Mrs. Tomato Head, and I run this YouTube channel if you're watching from YouTube. Also, co-run a awesome Facebook group called Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap with my buddy Jen Joy, who I do Tomato Talk Live with once a month, and Kina Tonnerud from Norway. The three of us run this amazing group. If you're watching from inside the group, hello. I'm glad you're here. I do these live. I like live for a couple reasons. I like interacting with you guys. I like hearing your reactions to some of these tomatoes. And honestly, I'll be completely honest, it prevents me from having to edit. I just do live and it's out there. Editing is quite a pain, but really, I just like the interaction. So I'm glad you're here. I love putting stuff on the screen and sharing with you guys. Hi, Heidi. Hi, you Growro. Thank you all for being here. If you have comments and thoughts, please feel free. I try to get as much on the screen as possible. Hi, Cynthia. Glad you're here. So I was ambitious thinking I would have a lot more varieties to show you because I like to show pictures and give details. So I think I'm going to do part 2 tomorrow. I think I only have like 15 or 16 to show you. But rather than just like, you know, go through and say doing this one, and this one, I like to show photos, give, the breeder name and any historical info that I know. So let's just I will intend to do part 2 tomorrow. Today is March 13th, 2024, if you're watching the recording. And I'm very glad you're all here. Another reason why I wanted to do this today is because I am totally procrastinating, like making my list official. So I thought, all right, I've just got to get it out there because I haven't released it in the group, my grow list. I've had a working document in my spreadsheet for quite a while, but the thing is I keep like adding more, and I'm not like Jen Joy, I don't have unlimited space. I've got nice property, but I don't have unlimited space. I think like around 150. Around. Mr. Tomato Head told me that looks like we're a go for another raised bed, which gives me 16 more spots. So we shall see, but I want to show you guys as much as I can. Sathi is here. Jarson, she's doing the Jarson grow out. That's awesome. Luke's here. Hi, Luke. Glad you're here. Green Thumb Gardener's here. Hello, Materheads. Oh, nice to see so many of you here today. Hey there. Thanks for watching. Cindy Stone's here. Hello, hello. Nicole is here. Hey, Nicole. Thank you guys for watching. Missy's here. Wonderful. Miss Alex M., I'm from Michigan. I'm fascinated by the dwarf tomatoes as I live in an apartment. I'm growing several dwarfs this year. I'm trying to think if any of my dwarfs actually made it to this list today. I don't, well, we shall see. I'm not really sure. I don't think so now that I'm thinking about it. I'm growing all of Bill Yoder's Prince Collection dwarfs, Dwarf Purple Rain, Dwarf Purple Heartthrob, Nano's Meatball Dwarf. I'll do some of those in tomorrow's list. So if you would like, if you're growing any of these varieties I'm going to show you, feel free to give it a shout out. Let me know if you liked it, you didn't like it, or if you're growing it this year along with me. These are not in any necessary order, because that would be, it's impossible to just like announce, like put it out there and say, I'm growing this, but like putting them in order would be impossible. But I will tell you that the first couple are like my most anticipated. And a lot of them, if you watch Tomato Talk Live or, my unboxings and all of that stuff, some of these are not going to be a surprise to you at all. But I do try to give, excuse me, I have photos for all of them. Like I said, there's only like 15 or 16 I was able to, excuse me, get up today. But we'll do more hopefully tomorrow. If you're in the Facebook group Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, which you'll see on the screen, I announced today we just reached 3,000 members, so 3,000 tomato heads in way less than a year. We only started, excuse me, getting all froggy all of a sudden. We only started the group. I launched it last July, the end of July, so it's March 13th. So we're doing well at 3,000 tomato heads, which is exciting. Glad you're here. We're doing a little, Kina, Jen, and I are doing a little 3,000 member party on Friday, 2 days from now, at 10 a.m. Eastern time, which I know is a very unique time for us, but I'm going away for the weekend, and Jen works Monday through Friday, so like getting the three of us to be able to do it together was challenging. So we are going to give away some seed prizes. We've had so many members and vendors coming to us just offering to give seeds and other things. It's really like, it's just amazing and overwhelming. Let me get rid of this thing. Amazing and overwhelming. And I thank you all if you are in that list. If you wanted to be mentioned, we will be mentioning you on Friday. But we've never once, I share this all the time, we've never once asked anybody to donate for us. Vendors that do coupon codes or give us seeds, and members, people come to us, which is just, it really is in the spirit of what our group is about, which is kindness, generosity, welcoming newcomers with open arms and hearts, and helping each other to grow tomatoes and find out about really fun varieties. So we'll be doing that Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. What is that? UK time. That is, I think you're 4 hours ahead now. So I believe that would be 2 p.m. GMT, whatever that stands for. UK time, whatever that is. So I hope you can join us. If you cannot join us and you're in the group, we're still offering opportunities to win seed prizes. I put in the group and it's pinned to the top that all you have to do is comment in that post and we will put your name into separate drawings. We're giving away some seed goodie bags and things like that. So yeah, it's really just so overwhelming. Kina, Jen, and I are donating some seeds of ours also, but just so many generous members. So thank you all. What else did I have to say? I guess that's it. Satya says, love tomato parties. Miss Alex M., I just found you on your last live searching tomatoes. Awesome. That's great. I'm a tomato head through and through. I've been growing for 30 years. If you haven't watched before, this poster was just found in our attic. It's almost 30 years old from when we first moved into the house. So yeah, we've been growing a long time. But my obsession only increases as I get older, and then have groups like ours where we just exchange seeds from all over the world and find out about new varieties. So hopefully I can show you some new ones today. But like I said, if you watch my videos, some of these aren't going to be a surprise. So let's get to it. I am going to I should give a giveaway. Hang on, I didn't set that up. Bear with me. I was too busy trying to get varieties up. I forgot about doing a giveaway. Oh, here we go. Okay. So type in hashtag tomato, same old, during this show today. It's not going to be all that long, I don't think. But hashtag tomato, and what am I giving away? I don't really know yet. Hashtag tomato in the comments. I'm trying to think if I have any of what I'm going to share. Well, we shall see. I'm thinking everything that I'm giving away, I don't have extras of right now, but I'll think as we're going through and we'll see what I've got extras of. But type in hashtag tomato and you can win something seedy. That's all I know. And make sure if you're watching from the Facebook group, make sure you are allowing Facebook, you give them permission. I use a platform called StreamYard, and you need to click that blue button. Looks like everybody, as far as I can tell, everybody's signed in. Garden Girl, for some reason I can't comment on Facebook. That is strange, but you're showing up here on YouTube, so that's a good thing. All right, let's get to it. So, and I'll give you guys some background on what I choose. So this first one This one just came to my mind as number 1. I think it is the single most anticipated variety I'm growing this year. This is called Lavorgienne, or the Virgin. Comes from France. I got seeds from a very generous member who lives in France. They're bred by Michel Harand um, from northern France. It is a cross between Black Krim and Evergreen, and it just looks spectacular. Um, I mean, the crosses of Black Krim and Evergreen alone are just spectacular. Seeds for this are very, very rare. They are not sold anywhere. In fact, the breeder requests that they never be sold, which is, part of what makes me like chomping at the bit. I need to grow these. We've given some seeds out, a couple prizes. We've given some seeds out. So I did get a bit extra that she gave me, which is unbelievable. Kina and Jen also have seeds. And then for any member that's exhibited like over and above generosity to us, whether it's like seed donations or whatever, I've been able to give some seeds out that way also. But rest assured, if you do not have seeds for this year, there are, a couple of us that will be growing it out for next year. But how amazing does this tomato look? I mean, just the story alone, and then the crosses, Black Krim and Evergreen. It's just, I know you grow row. I know, right? Cynthia Gorge. I know it is. Kina, I'm so excited for Lavorgienne. Me too. Me too. And I love that the breeder asked for it not to be sold. I was told by this member in France that she didn't reach out to him, but somebody else did, because originally she sent me seeds several months ago. And there was like in the seed packet, there was a picture like that. And I'm like, OMG, this is amazing. I would love to get my hands on more seeds to give away as prizes. So I reached out to her. I just said I've never reached out asking for donations. This is the one exception. I told her I would pay. That's when she told me that Michelle Harant no longer trades, but she had a friend who grew extra and was willing to give. So we got a few extra packets of seeds to give away. Cindy Stone is just beautiful. I agree. Hey Samantha, glad you're here. Shell's here, gorgeous. I know. Awesome to try. I know. And Dee's here. Beautiful tomato. It really is. Let me see if there's any other information. He bred it in 2008, cross between Crimean Black or Black Krim and Evergreen. It's a potato leaf. Seeds of Lavorgienne cannot be sold. That's basically it. So curious to see how it all grows out for those of us who have it this year. Hey, Chris, glad you're here. I agree. It's just beautiful. It is. I love the story too. So that's Lavorgienne. If I had to pick one, I would choose like my number one most anticipated. This would be the one. For the past year or so, I think my 2 and 3 or in the top 5, I would have said that those would be my number 1 and 2, but this one inched it out as soon as I got them. So what's number 2 here? This would have been my tie for number 1 previously. This is Krimsky Malachite, cross between Black Krim and my number 1 favorite, which is Malachite Box or Malachitовая шкатулка. It's from Russia. I had found out about this variety being a Malachite Box cross about a year ago. Nobody has it. Nobody has it except for Tomato Faifu, or however you pronounce it. But they were closed. They were closed for many, many months, and none of us knew if they would be back open. And then new owners kind of worked with the previous owner who's ill, and they reopened up. And I was first in line to get Krimsky Malachite because just those crosses. I mean, Black Krim is one of my favorites, and Malachite Box or Malachitовая шкатулка or Malachite Casket. Somebody asked if that was the same thing. They're all the same thing. That is my number 1, me and Rob. It's our number 1 and has been for years. That is going to be this year. There's so many new ones we want to grow. That is going to be one of the only ones we repeat this year. We're not growing Cherokee Purple. We're not growing Black Krim. These are some of our tried and true because we want to try all these new ones. But I feel like we have to grow malachite box because that's the gold standard for us. We need, like, if we find a variety that's going to be like an OMG aha moment variety, we need to be able to do a taste off, because I wish you could like burn taste in your mind, but that's not really accurate. So I'm trying to do that with my micro dwarfs too, like really comparing apples to apples or tomatoes to tomatoes. So Malachite box will be one of the only ones we regrow this year. But back to Krimsky Malahit. It's a cross of black Krim and Malachitовая шкатулка made by a Russian gardener. That's all I know as far as name of the breeder. It was an F5 in 2019. Tomato Faifu said it seemed stable in 2023. Fruits weighing 200 to 400 grams. Beefsteak light, like slightly flattened at the poles, ribbed at the top with rounded shoulders. Green skin, turning red at the apical part when fully ripe. I will tell you also, before Tomato Faifu reopened this year, and when you were able to go on their website, they, besides being a store, they're also a great place for tomato resources. So often you can go in and you're wondering, why can't I put this in my cart? It's because they don't have it for sale, but they have incredible pictures. Let me put in the comments or in the banner what I'm talking about, because I'm sure I am brutalizing their name. It's tomatofaifu.com. It's like fee fi fo fum. That's it. And I believe they're from Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, prior to them reopening, their photo of Krimsky Malahit was very, very different. It was more dark. It, this version that they've got is more green, as you can see, with some pink in it. So I'll be curious to see what I get if it is stable. And I'm going to talk about that when I get to some of my Jarsons, which, if you follow me at all, I love, and there's definitely some of those popping up. They're not exactly stable. So as long as I know the crosses, I'm finding it really exciting. I'm growing out some F2s this year for some people, even F3s, F4s that aren't really stable, but I'm excited to see what comes out. There's even some Jarsons I'm growing several different versions of that one variety. So I will get back to that in a minute. What do you guys think of Krimsky Malahit? Anybody out there also growing it? Oh, Luke says from Belgium. I was hoping you would weigh in, Luke, from Belgium. No, I'm not growing Cherokee Purple. I know. Cheryl, don't do this to me, because you're going to get me to put that back on my grow list. Do not do it to me. I love Cherokee Purple as black Krim as good. You know what's funny, Miss Alex M? We didn't grow, let's see, 2 years ago, we didn't grow black Krim because 3 years ago, we grew black Krim and Cherokee Purple, and we found them to be almost exactly the same. It was strange because they're very much not the same, but that year they seemed to be the same. Last year, we intended to not grow black Krim again, but I was growing it out. One of my friends asked if I would start black Krim for them. And of course, I'm a tomato head and I grew extra, and I'm not capable of discarding seedlings. So we had extra, so we had to plant it. And it was very different from Cherokee Purple last year, which it is. And it was unbelievable as far as flavor. Black Krim I'm talking about now. Cherokee Purple, you can't, for me at least, you can't discard it. It's a classic for a reason. It's just amazing. Why they were similar that one year, I don't know. There was not a seed mix-up because the seeds we grew last year were the seeds from that previous year. So yes, I think black Krim is very good. But taste is subjective. So this is just, my recommendations. Kina says she's growing Krimsky Malahit. Of course. Carbon, Paul Robeson, nope, and nope. I know. Some of the classics not growing this year. Anna says, I've added malachite and coyote thanks to you, Lauren. But I also know that Growfully with Jenna also likes coyote. Awesome sauce. Coyote is my favorite cherry. And we are growing that this year. Also growing, and I was going to add it today, and maybe I'll add it for tomorrow's part 2. Coyote crosses very easily. And the past couple of years, we've been gifted with some accidental coyote crosses. So I've given seeds out to a very select few of you. I know I gave some to Kina. Um, who else? Malachite Jen, if she's here. I'm not sure if she's here today. So there, I've got strawberry coyote, rosy coyote, wily sweet cherry. These are all coyote crosses that I'm working on stabilizing. They're similar to coyote, but with different colors. One of them crossed again 2 years ago with black strawberry, which was a tragically awful variety, but crossed with the coyote cross, it's awesome. So, yes, I love coyote, and I'm glad you've added it to your grow list. It's a very much overlooked cherry, I think. Craig Luhulier, who is going to be our guest on Tomato Talk Live in April next month, April 5th, which we're very excited about. He's got a whole page devoted to coyote in Epic Tomatoes in his book. It's a variety from Mexico. It's this tiny little opaque yellow tomato. I think Sun Gold gets a lot of attention, and it's a very good tomato, but I think coyote's much better. So I'm glad to hear that, Anna. Anna or Anna, I'm glad you've added that. And malachite, I don't think you'll be sorry at all. I think it's just I don't know if I've ever shared this story with you guys, but years ago, our malachite story, how we got to know malachite box or Malachitavaya shkatulka, is I ordered seeds from some farm on Etsy who I don't even, I think they're still up there, but they're not one of our Etsy vendors that we know well. And I ordered a couple things. It was the year of Dancing with the Smurfs, another I feel tragically awful variety. I'm not big on varieties that are all anthocyanin, all black. Not for me. Um, but anyway, they threw in malachite box as a free gift, but she had it. I believe it was a female farmer. She had it listed as malachite red, and even back then, I was like, with the spreadsheet, like, I need to know more. What's with malachite red? I couldn't find anything about malachite red because there is no malachite red. Because malachite is a green gem. So when I asked her about it, she said, "Oh, it was given to me by another farmer." So we had already had it growing at that point, and then when we tasted it, it was just, like, stop the presses. This is the best tomato I've ever had. And we've grown it every year since. And we've had some excellent tomatoes. Berkeley pink tie dye is wonderful. And we're not growing that this year either. That's a classic for a reason also. But yeah, for us, malachite box is the gold standard. And I don't have a picture of it today, but we are growing it, like I said. Doesn't look all that different from this. I find them to be a little bit, they don't have as much pink in there. But yeah, be curious to see what Krimsky Malahit is all about. Cynthia, are you doing no repeats? It's tough when there's so many varieties out there. Michael, apparently Fred's tie-dye is a dwarf that is extremely similar to Cherokee Purple. And Rosella Purple. Rosella Purple, which we did grow last year, that is a dwarf that they say is exactly Cherokee Purple. I'm sure it's not exactly Cherokee Purple, but that's what, if you Google, they say that that's like a dwarf version of Cherokee Purple. So, and that was a very good variety, Rosella Purple. There's Rosella, which is a cherry and a great cherry. We grew that last year. And then Rosella Purple, which is a beefsteak. And that, to us, we wouldn't grow it again only because, not on a year we're doing Cherokee Purple anyway, because they looked and tasted exactly the same to us. But I mean, you can't go wrong with that. All right, so let's get on to more varieties. Oh, hey, Joe. Grow Big TV, Coyote's great. Yes, I agree. Luke, I grew Coyote last year. It was great. A lot of sweet tomatoes. Yes, it's a very unique flavor, I find. Not the greatest shelf life. But honestly, like they're like candy. We've been growing that one every year when we I say every year with an asterisk because we thought we were growing it 2 years ago, and then it turned out to be one of our crosses. So we've been trying to grow it every year. But our son is almost 26, and I remember him coming out to the garden with us when he was a little boy, just so he'd eat coyote tomatoes like candy. One of my great memories of him out in the garden with us. Um, Garden Girl Coyote is one of my favorites. It came back last year. Everyone that comes over just loves it. I'm so glad there's so many of you liking it. And as far as it crossing very easily, I found, there we go. I found out through everybody, Jen just did a video on Dr. Karen Mill and this book on her YouTube channel, Jen Joy. She talks in this book about how tomatoes do not accidentally cross easily. They're self-pollinating. They can. I mean, one of my varieties, which I'm going to show you in a minute, is an accidental cross. They don't accidentally cross easily. The exception to that, which she talks about, are currant tomatoes, because they've exhibited stigmas. So the cross, I mean, we consider our coyote. Oh, looks like my internet is going bad. Can you guys still hear me? Let me cross. Ooh, I meant to close out some windows here. Let me close that. Can you guys still hearing me okay? I've got, yeah, breaking up. Hang on, let me close some windows. Is this any better? All right, looks like I'm good. You guys let me know. Am I good now? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Better now. Thanks, Deb. Hey, Deb. Yeah, I closed out some windows. I had my crazy tomato spreadsheet open. So yeah, that takes up a lot of whatever they call it, CPUs. Anyway, I don't know how much you guys heard. Coyote crosses easily. It's not officially a currant tomato, but it's a bit bigger, but that has exerted stigmas too. Hence why Coyote is a hoe. We call her a hoe because she crosses very easily. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. What is next? We've got Krimsky Malheat. What is next? This one just happened today, as a matter of fact. I don't know how to pronounce it. Karl's Emslandtraube. It's from Germany. For those of you who are German or speaking German, I apologize for the pronunciation. It is a variety from Emsland, Germany. It translates to Karl's grape tomato from Emsland. This just happened today because I got a message in my Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Facebook page. And I don't check the private messages in there that often, but it came in over the weekend, and it was from the grandson of Karl Schneiderger. My apologies for the pronunciation if you're watching, Tim. Hello. He emailed or he private messaged me looking, I'm not sure if he meant it for Jen, meant it for me. Both, we're not really sure, but he addressed it to Jen. So I think he thought Jen Joy was Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. So he talked about his 101-year-old grandfather named Karl Schneiderger. This is him here. And how he has bred this grape tomato. He bred it 70 years ago in Germany. Seeds for it are difficult to come by. And he wanted to know from Jen or me. He's offered it to me now also. I told him I think he's mistaken. I think he meant it for Jen, but I would pass on the message. And he said, no, I want you to have it too. So we were emailing back and forth, and he's sending me these seeds, sending it in a few days. I did some research on it, and it sounds awesome. Besides the story, I'm a sucker for first of all taste. Taste will get me every time, of course. That's my number one criteria. A great story and or rare, sign me up for sure. I feel like, and I've talked to Kina about this before, I feel like it's very egotistical. I feel like it is my responsibility to save varieties. I don't think this one needs saving, but I'm really happy to carry it on. He said, what did he say? I closed closed my spreadsheet. He said his 101-year-old grandfather bred this. What I read on the internet, he also said that people say it's the best tomato they've ever had. It's a grape tomato. Um, let's see. He no longer wants Carl, the breeder, the grandfather, is now 101 years old, no longer wanted to grow crops for physical reasons. So he's sharing seeds, forms beautiful large panicles with 12 to 20 fruits. The yield is very high. The entire plant is full of these tasty tomatoes with a sweet and spicy taste. Also extremely vigorous. Gets to be 6.5 feet tall or 2 meters. Um, yes, I found this. I forget the name of the site I found it on, but if you Google this name, you will find a German site that offers it. But it's an honor to be able to grow these this year and to spread the seed and to taste this. I feel very fortunate to have intercepted Jen's mail and now to have met a new friend in Tim. And thank you, Tim, if you're watching, for offering them to me as well. What a gift to be able to grow this for this gentleman who there was a story on that website. Carl saw many vegetable gardens and orchards in France during World War II in 1944, and was so impressed that he wanted to grow vegetables himself when he returned. He received the original seeds of the variety from a family in a neighboring village and then continued to breed them. So, quite a special one, and that immediately went to the top of my list. Kina, I thought you'd like that. It just happened like an hour or two ago. I was going to tell you. Jen already knows. Cynthia says, I think the more of us that grow these tomatoes means they will never be lost. I agree. And my buddy Heidi's here. Love this story. Me too. And Deb, what a great story, Carl. Yes. Michael, easy to get the tomato twins mixed up, meaning Jen and I. Yeah, I'm happy to be her twin. She's pretty awesome sauce. All right, what is next? And I did ask him if it was okay to share these pictures of his grandfather, and he said absolutely. But what great photos, huh, of him with his great creation, for sure. Okay, back to my Malachita Vajashkatulka obsession and Jarson obsession and Cherokee Purple obsession. This is Jarson 16. Why does it look different? Because there are different variants of Jarson 16. This is a variety from Poland. Jarson varieties, for those of you who don't know, I'm not going to be able to say this name. My last name may be Polish, Zaleski. The W is silent. But I don't speak Polish. I know Stolat, and that's about it. The name of the breeder is actually Krzyzewski Jarsona. I'm not sure which one of those is the first and the last name. Krzyzewski. So it kind of sounds like it would be the last name, but I don't know. Whenever I find it, it's always listed this way, so I'll leave it at that. I want to be his best friend. He's a breeder from Poland in similar spirit to the Kazula varieties. He has them numbered. There are 35 of them. I have all but 3, and within all of those, I have various variants of each because, like I mentioned earlier, most of them are not stable. The crosses, of course, remain the same, but they look quite different. So I am growing, I believe, I think I have like 6 different variants of Jarson 16. I am not growing all 6, but these are some of the ones I am growing. So with a cross like Malachite Box and Cherokee Purple, again, how can you go wrong? I don't think you can. So far we've got Black Crim and Evergreen in Lavorgienne. We've got Black Crim and Malachite Box in Krimsky Malahit. We've got what else did I say? Did I say anything else in Malachite Box yet? I guess it was not yet. There's more to come, trust me. So these are great crosses. So, when you have your favorites and they're crossed together, you've just got to think like it's got to be good. Kina, talking about that vendor. I've bought lots of stuff from that site, but haven't gotten the sniff if this one, meaning we're talking about Carl's. Yes. Kina, do you have can you put in the comments, if you would, the link to that vendor? I'm sure you're talking about the same one that I got that information from. Tim, the grandson, also gave me some information on his own, and I thought I had copied and pasted it to my list here, but it's on the spreadsheet, and I'm afraid of opening that back up again for fear of losing good internet again. Plus variance. So yes, so you'll often see, and if you've traded with me, chances are you've gotten Jarson 18.3, which will look like this. Let me show you. And Kazula's will often look like this too. So Jarson 18.3. So it will look like this. That means it's Jarson 18. Jarson 18 I grew last year. It's a cross between Malachite Box and Copia. And variant 3. So I know there's officially 4 different variants of Jarson 18. Tomato Eden sells 4, but Kina and I know there are more than that, because we've been given some by our Jarson Angel. Kina herself grew out she thought she was growing out 18.3, and it turned out to be this awesome red striped version. So hence why I say they're not stable. So there's like Jarson 16.1, there's Jarson 6. Sometimes it's even like it'll go even further. I think I've got some of this Jarson 18.3.1.1. No joke. It'll look like this, like that. So it's Jarson 18.3, but version 1 and version 1 of that. It really gets a bit crazy. I'm excited to grow as many of them as I possibly can this year. So if you've traded with me, I almost always give bonus varieties. I put in a lot for many of you this year, Jarson 1, which now there's many versions of Jarson 1 out there. My version I'm now starting to call Jarson Tricolor, because mine was just the most spectacular Jarson 1 that I have yet to see. I'll try to show that in tomorrow's part 2 of this, if I'm able to do one tomorrow. It's got this point at the bottom. It's just this gorgeous, glorious, glossy, huge, spectacular tomato. Probably the most majestic tomato I've ever grown. So that's the story of all the Jarson variants. Kina, thank you for this. Yes, that's exactly where I got that that information on Karl's Emsland Traub grape tomato from Germany. Kristen says, I got some Jarsons from Tomato Faifu, I think. Excellent. Excellent. They do have many listed. I don't know. I don't remember seeing any for sale, but maybe you got them before they were sold out. I'm not really sure. But like I said earlier, they are a great resource. All right, moving on. Jarson 10, another Jarson. This is a cross between Ananas Noir, or Black Pineapple, and Kazula 37 version 4. And that is, do I have it here? Kazula 37.4 is a cross between King Pink and Steak Sandwich. So I looked it up. I meant to show a photo, but it's basically a pink tomato. So they crossed Ananas Noir, or he crossed Ananas Noir with this pink tomato, and look at this spectacular tomato. I mean, come on. And you can see there's a couple different versions here. One of them is, well, they all say Jarson 10, but they're different. Our Jarson Angel, there's different variants of it. It's a spectacular tomato. Yeah, Jarson 10. I feel like you can't. Ananas Noir just makes a beautiful tomato. My tomato, which will be coming up, is an Ananas Noir cross also. Same as Black Pineapple. If you did not know, Ananas Noir means black pineapple. Brian says, I'm so excited to be growing Jarsons this year. You and me both, my friend. Last year, I was only able to grow 18.3 and 1 this year. Believe me, what I'm showing today isn't even the start of it. Michael says, love the color difference from outside to inside. Me too, Michael. This one, the one on the left here, oh my gosh, just it's like this red on the outside. And then like Christmas Day, you open it up and look at that gorgeousness. That's one of the things I love about Jarsons, and you will find in many of what I'm growing this year. So that's Jarson 10. That's because I'm awesome. You talking to me? Thank you if you're talking to me. Excellent. Luke says it's from Austria, meaning the vendor. Thank you, Luke. Yes. Riverdale Gardens is here. That's a beauty. I know. I know. So excited. Again, I feel like I've been so gifted with seeds for some of these that are not easy to find, especially in the United States, that I feel like it's my duty to grow these out and pass them on. Um, okay, speaking of my tomato, if you're in the group, you probably know all about this, but I would be remiss in not sharing. This is it may be the only other one we are regrowing this year. It is our variety called Banana Noir. It was an accidental cross in our garden back several years ago of Ananas Noir or black pineapple and an unknown cherry. I have a feeling I know what the cherry is. Um, I better not say it for fear of it becoming fact. Oh, I'll just say it. I think it's a coyote. I think it's coyote. Honestly, I think it's Ananas Noir and coyote. A lot of things point to that. It makes sense for that particular year. Banana Noir gets very tall. I've given a lot of these seeds out this year too. If you grow it, it's not a micro dwarf. I will tell you that it can get up to 9 feet tall. It's best to double or triple stem it. The stems are pretty thin, but it is very prolific, and you can tell that I love tomatoes with this kind of coloring. It's just one of the best tomatoes I've ever had. So sweet, with a little bit of acidity. I'm not the biggest fan of super sweet tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes are different, but this one is very, very sweet, and I love it. It's got great shelf life, although you do want to pick it before a big rain because they can split on the vine. But then once they're off, they've got great shelf life, and they're just beautiful and delicious. And I get super excited to see you guys grow them out. I know Kina had a weird variation of it this year with a dimple. I don't and I don't see variants of it very often. Um, I thought it was pretty stable until she grew it out, but everybody else that grew it out got something that resembled this, sometimes a little bit more pink, sometimes a little more green. It's got thin skin, it's got lots of gel and seeds. I just love it. Oh, Nicole, my banana noir seedlings are 2 feet tall already. Seeds were started December 31st. Awesome sauce. The other great thing about banana noir that I've found through speaking with those who grew it last year, that it appears to be very disease resistant. I'd like to say I bred it for that, but I didn't. We stabilized it. We didn't officially breed it, but we did spend years stabilizing it. And I also find that is probably the last tomato that still continues to go in the garden. I mean, produce up until first frost. It's really just a great variety. I'm a little protective of it. I am excited to give it out. But yeah, it's our baby. So I'm quite proud of it. I'm very, very grateful to our friendly neighborhood pollinator who decided to give us this gift. So I mentioned earlier that tomatoes don't accidentally cross often, but if it's coyote, I mentioned that thing with the exerted stigma. Coyote's a bit of a hoe. I have a feeling it hit up Banana Noir. Okay, that's Banana Noir. Here's another rare one. This is called Terracotta Cherry. Don't bother Googling it because you won't find it. It was offered for a limited time through Heirloom Seed House, through our group friend who I interviewed a couple months ago, back in January, about lawn keepers. He is from Heirloom Seed House, and he gave me the picture. He said he doesn't have it on the website this year because he was limited on seeds, so he took it off. But I feel fortunate I was able to order it. I know Kina was able to order it before he took it down. And then when I got them, I couldn't find information on it because he took it off the website. So I was sort of hounding him, like, I need this for my spreadsheet. And he just told me that they are very sweet. They're very prolific. They vary in shape and size. Not sure how stable they are. I can tell from even this photo that he provided that they do vary in size. But boy, isn't that amazing? Isn't that just amazing? Oh, excited to grow Banana Noir. Thank you, Rowena. Glad you're here. Kristen, what an accomplishment. Thanks. Thank you. I'm glad it's a good one, and same with our coyote crosses that we're stabilizing. Like, you would think, how you think your child's the most gorgeous thing ever and the most talented thing ever. I don't think it's that at all. I really think it's that good. Those of you that have grown it, I know several of you say from Not many grew it last year, but there were a handful of you, and many of you say it was spectacular, which makes me feel good. But if you don't like it, it's a tomato. Taste is subjective. But I'm oh thank you, Ogrod. I'm sorry. I'm brutalizing your name, but that name means crosses in Polish. Okay, so that is not in the name. She's referring to. Thank you so much, and it's nice to meet you. I'm glad you're here. So going back to Jarson, I thought that that I took from a gardening website where Jarson is a member. I thought that was part of his name. What it means is that is his crosses. Good to know. I will take that off of my resources and information. So that is not part of his name. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate that. Normally I'm good at catching that stuff. I was not. So I appreciate you giving the heads up on that. Good to know. So disregard that being in the name. Oh, and Luke says it would be my honor to grow it, meaning banana snore. Thank you, Luke. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. That's very nice. I appreciate it. Those look so good. Not sure if we're talking about bananas or banana noir or this terracotta cherry, but if you're talking about terracotta cherry, I agree. Cannot wait to grow it. Just for the fact, again, that it's rare. I'm growing several things with that kind of butterscotch look to it this year. So they look spectacular. I'm not sure, I did ask Evan, and what did he tell me about this? Anything other than small cherry, super sweet, has some color variations still in light orange to copper to the terracotta range. I don't know if Thorburns terracotta is a cross. He did not say that, so I don't really want to speculate that it is. But yeah, it's a beauty. It's a beauty. All right, what is next? All right. So Bill Yoder was guest on Tomato Talk Live with Jen, Joy, and I, my tomato twin, a couple weeks ago. And he has a Prince line that he's already released. I am growing all of his Prince varieties, but he also released in limited amounts his Depeche Mode series. And I was given seeds, 4 seeds each from Linda Downing. And I thank you, Linda, if you're watching. If you're not watching live, I know you'll be watching eventually. She saw me. I had intended on ordering these directly from Bill before I left for Florida for 3 weeks. And I got so caught up in it. And by the time I ordered it, went to order it. He said he was sold out. Oh, wah, wah. So I had them on my most wanted. I had one of this one, Suffer Well, on my most wanted, which is a post we have in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. We allow everybody to have one most wanted up there at all times. And Linda was just so gracious and gave me 4 seeds of each of the Depeche Mode lines. And this is a cross between 2 more greats, Berkeley Pink Tie-Dye and Cherokee Purple Potato Leaf. So this is a regular variety. It is not a dwarf like the Prince line. And what did he say about this? Yeah, nothing really. He has some things listed on his Facebook page, but it's not available at any vendors yet. It will be, I'm sure, after this growing season. But when I saw a picture of this one in particular on his page, I just wanted to bury my head in it. I wanted to take a bath in it, really. I mean, the deep color, the striping, and then knowing the crosses, Berkeley Pink Tie-Dye, which is one of our favorites, and Cherokee Purple, of course. Satya, that tomato Suffer Well. I agree. D says, ooh, adding Suffer Well to my wish list. That looks good. I agree. Where can you get that? Nowhere right now, my friend. Bill is growing out some. He says he's hoping to have more seeds available midsummer. But right now, nowhere. But at the end of the season, I will have them. Other people will, well, I don't want to say who else was able to get their hands on seeds, but I'm sure some other vendors will have them available. But yeah, they are fantastic. I feel the need for Bill Yoder tomato seeds. I know. Oh, Cheryl says, I'm not growing. You're not growing a Nana Noir this year? That's big for Cheryl. That's her number one variety. Um, but you're growing extra bananas noir. Wow, that makes me feel so good and interesting too because I don't think they taste the same at all. Um, they have similar color. Bananas noir looks just like it, but smaller size. But I don't feel they taste the same, to be honest. I feel like I'm not just calling it my favorite, but I feel like Banana Noir is much sweeter. But Banana Noir is great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. But that's good to know, Cheryl. I'm glad you liked it. Um, Brick red and beautiful. Wow. And Sean's here. That's a cross of some greats. I agree. Bill Yoder is a master. And if you didn't catch our episode last month, our interview with him, 90 minutes, check it out on my YouTube channel or Jen's YouTube channel. It was a great, great interview. And he doesn't give interviews, or he's starting to, but he really doesn't give many or any interviews. So we feel very fortunate to have been able to have him on the show. What a nice, humble, down to earth guy who is just a genius. And you're going to see others of his. I think one other in today's video. I thought this was going to go fast, but obviously I can talk so much about tomatoes that even 16 varieties can take forever. But let's move on to the next one. This one I just got today, but it was on my most, it was on my like top 10 forever. I had been looking for these for the longest time. This is a long keeper called Banyel Bufar. It's from Mallorca, Spain. And I just got seeds today. So excited. The vendor, I'm going to do a vendor spotlight on them, but she wants to catch up on some seed orders first before I do that because vendor spotlights usually equal big time orders. But I do need to just give her a shout out. Great Lakes Staple Seeds, Eleanor there. What a great website. She's got a couple very unique lawn keepers on there, as well as some great peppers, and they all have stories. And so let me read to you. The seed packet is phenomenal. Let me show you what this looks like. Look at that. This variety, Banyel Bufar, is listed in the slow food arc of taste. And what that means is that association, if you will, is dedicated to providing education and restoring varieties of various things, peppers, tomatoes, that are regional to locations like Italy, like Spain, that they want to bring education and attention to. This is one of the varieties listed on there. The seed packet says, founded by the sea, Banyel Bufar is a Spanish Ramelette tomato, or hanging variety, that stores well, offering a culinary burst of summer sunshine deep into winter. Robust vines are prolific. What else does it say? Small mountain village on the Balearic island of Mallorca. Aboard slow foods arc of taste, Ramelette tomatoes typically grown for winter use, harvested and hung in an enfilal for use throughout the fall into winter. Banyel Bufar tomatoes are a Spanish Ramelette type, typically enjoyed as a pa am oli. Brutalize that, I'm sure. Where the tomato is crushed on a slice of toast, first drizzled with olive oil, often accompanied by jamon serrano, that's serrano ham, cheese, local olives, and pickles. And that is very typical of the Spanish Ramelette or hanging longkeeper varieties. They spread it on toast. The picture down to the right says that trio of wrinkled tomatoes were harvested early October and photographed on December 14th. They were harvested red. They were kept in a single layer in a cardboard box. And that happens a lot with the longkeeper tomatoes. I'm not starting this one right away, she says. We shall see. The lawn keepers, I want to grow all the lawn keepers. Let's be real. I want to grow them all after discovering them in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap a couple months ago. Thank you to Keena's mom. Yes, Keena, I got them today. She knew I was looking for these, and Jen knew also. Um, uh, Keena's mom, Kit, shared a post in our group. Many of you know this, that talked about lawn keepers. She showed them hanging in her sunroom area, and talked about having them throughout the winter. I had Evan Gregoire of Heirloom Seed House. I already mentioned he was on a live with me back in January, talking all about lawn keepers, otherwise known as winter storage varieties, Pianolo, Ramelette, Penjar, Colgar. There's a lot of different names for them. Um, so I've, become a collector because that's what I do. And I've accumulated quite a bit. Anarita is one of them I'm excited to grow, but this was the one I was most excited for and was only available at this vendor. So very excited for Danielle Bouffard. Make sure you guys type in #tomato. I am going to give away something. I wish I had extra Danielle Bouffard to give you. I do not. There was a limit of one package per customer. And I've already promised a couple people seeds for this, but I will come up with something to give away at the end of the episode. Yeah, maybe I'll give a choice and you guys can choose. You started some Lawnkeeper Dwarf. So did I. Which one, Amanda? Is it one of the ones I gave you? I know I gave you several. I started one called, it's like K1754 or something like that. Let me see if I can pull it up. Got it at Tomato Eden. There's a few Lawnkeeper Dwarfs. Let me see if I can find it in Lawn Keepers. Let's get rid of this for a minute. Let's remove this. Let me show you the screen. It's like K with a number. This is Tomato Eden, who, it's no secret, I love. She's got, let's see, long stored varieties. This is the one I started. Am I showing this? Yes. K2554, I think, is the one I started. Only grows to 0.5 meters, and it's a lawn keeper. The unripe fruit is covered with a blue blush, which when ripe turns into dark red, rich red color inside. The fruits are dense and very light. Yeah, I haven't started most of my tomatoes. I've been a good girl. I swore to myself last year. I started them March 5th. I've shared this a few times already. The things, just the way my method of growing makes them monsters. Let me show you. These are both variety. Whoa, you do almost watch me kill myself on live. So these were both started a month ago. There's a month and a week. Let's be real. This is my bananas. Oh no, this is Suffer Well, Bill Yoder's variety, which I already showed. This was started February 8th. This is Bananas Noir, started February 4th. So you can see the size they get with my method of adding soil up the stem after only a month. By the time I get to the end of May, when I'm able to plant out, believe me, they are not in these things. They are in seedling grow bags and they are monsters. I did a video and I made everybody swear to me, do not let me start tomatoes for at least another week, preferably to like the end of March. And now look, what am I holding in my hand? I've got started tomato plants. So I'm not completely listening to myself, but Rob and I have not done the big start yet. We haven't. Sorry, just got a nice text from my daughter. She's got something big going on, which I'm not allowed to announce yet because the little stinker, she has to announce it first before I'm allowed to announce it. She's an actress, singer who lives in New York City. That's all I'll say. Something very exciting for her. She works very, very hard. So anyway, this is what my plants look like after a month. If I start now, they just become monsters. They take a lot of soil in those seedling grow bags. So I've been very good. But dwarfs, because they grow not as big, obviously, I did start all of Bill Yoder's dwarfs and that one lawn keeper. Maybe another or two. So that is why. And look, I was talking about these new 3-inch pots from Bootstrap Farmer. to do what I used to do in the solo cups, and it's working great. This is another Bananas Noir. It's working fantastic. So loving these so far. New 3.3-inch pots from Bootstrap Farmer. I know many of you in the group were able to get a very special oops deal for orange ones, but they are fantastic. And they've got these inserts you can get in 10 by 20 trays where you can actually fit 18 of these in a 10 by 20 tray. It's like a dream come true. Okay, back to, this is why it takes me so long to get through anything. I've got soil now all over because I almost killed myself. But that's okay. If I want to be showered in soil, it's Fox Farm, so it's good. Add that to the cup. Okay. I can just talk about tomatoes forever. I've been in agony trying to wait. I know, especially seeing so many of you starting already. I am in agony. I did start my peppers finally. Like, I was late to start them, I think. And I'm really only growing like 2 hot peppers, mostly sweet this year. I'm not as into peppers as I am tomatoes, not even close, but I do enjoy them. Last year, Lesia was like so amazing. So I'm growing orange Lesia too. Maybe eventually I'll do like a what peppers I'm growing. So those I started, but in general have not started most of my tomatoes. But my basement has micro dwarfs all over it. I'm a crazy person. I'm sure it's a test year. The test, see if any difference waiting a few weeks. Yeah, I've been doing this so long. I don't think there's going to be a difference, honestly. So last year, while we did the vast majority of our starts on March 5th, I kept adding more to my grow list, which happens all the time. So I was planting seeds or sowing seeds for varieties, and I have it written down. I want to say the end of April, and still getting a harvest. Our first frost I'm in zone 6B-ish. I'm in rural New Jersey, almost Pennsylvania on the western side. First frost is generally mid-October. I've gotten tomatoes into November before, but yes, end of April. So we had our monster seedlings that we planted out and planted very deep, and then we had things that were like this big that we planted out, and we got some early tomatoes, but hang on. I'm seeing my internet is bad. Okay, I'm seeing my internet is bad again. Yeah, I know, Samantha. Bear with me. Okay, this should be good. I get like a little notification. I'm trying to close out as many windows as possible. I need to keep the giveaway tool up, otherwise we lose that. Is this better? 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Terry. I was trying to give you an excuse. You're right. It is a test here, and I am doing a video on it. Is this better, you guys, for sound on my? Okay, thank you, Sean. Marilyn, hi, Marilyn. It's warmer here now in Alabama, about 70s today, but still there are a few 30s next week. It's full spring. Let me tell you a little story, and I'm going to upload a video on that soon. We had a full spring last year in May. We generally plant out around Mother's Day here in the United States, usually around the end of May. That's really what is suggested and what is smart. We had a very hot May last year, early May. And so we didn't plant all of ours out, but Rob and I mean, there were so many, we wanted to get a jump start. So we planted them out. We had what I refer to as my garage tomatoes. So I had videos on my YouTube channel, which is Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head, by the way. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. There were some of our starts that got so big, they actually outgrew those 9-inch seedling grow bags. So, and we didn't want to lose them. So we planted them in 10-gallon grow bags, but they weren't ready to go out yet. So we would drag them out of the garage during the day to sit in the sun, and then we would drag them in at night so frost didn't get to them. We got early tomatoes from that. It was a ton of work. It was heavy work, but this is becoming a thing. I know Jen Joy is going to be doing some garage tomatoes this year. I think maybe Kina said you were doing something. Did you say you're going to do some, Kina? I forget. But anyway, garage tomatoes is a thing. I'm doing it again this year with some. Probably that suffer well over there. Thanks, Athea. Subscribe and like. Yeah, I always forget to say that, but I appreciate that. Anyway, back to my lesson. Besides the garage tomatoes, there were some we planted in the ground, like May 11th. In comes May 17th. I remember the date very well. It was my son's birthday. We were told we were getting a frost warning, and we had stuff in our. Actually, we had a lot planted in the ground. Now that I'm thinking about it, did we have all of them? I think we may have. Yeah, Cynthia, you know where this is going. Got a frost, but we had warning ahead of time, so I covered what I could. But there were like 100 tomatoes at that time. There were more eventually that came later, but like 100 planted, and some, like I said already, some were this big. We had, and I swear it's no mistake. That's not the word I'm looking for. No coincidence that it was like two of my top most anticipated varieties were hit hard. Del Nerpio Verde, which is, I was told it was like the best green when ripe tomato ever, and that it was better than Malachite Box. I didn't think so. It was very good. I don't think it beat Malachite. And Uptown Funk, which is a Malachite cross, Malachite and Berkeley Pink tie-dye and Indigo Rose, which that gave it a little bit of antho, but it's really those two. It got those plants I was convinced were dead, but I ended up taking snapshots and videos along the way, and they were revived because the frost didn't hit them. I think it only dipped below in low 30s for a couple of hours. But I learned my lesson. We will not do that again this year. We've got to wait. It's tempting though, and especially if you're hardening off, and the way we harden off in those 9-inch seedling grow bags, like I said, dragging those 10 by 20 trays out with the, vast amounts of soil, it gets heavy, and we just wanted to be done with it. I think we had something going on the end of May too, and maybe we had to go away somewhere. So live and learn, but they did come back. I don't know that we lost any of them. Also happened to have duplicates of them both, thankfully. I think we lost a couple of micros. I think we actually did, but we had some of those that we thought were lost in our garage tomatoes. So, but I won't do that again because we are lucky it was only a few hours. So full spring for sure. Yay, I'm growing Uptown Funk. Thanks to you, Lauren. Can't wait to taste it. That was a favorite from last year. That was a great tomato, very prolific and delicious. I think it was during mine and Jen's, our very first Tomato Talk Live, which was our July episode. I think it was during our first one, maybe second. But it was a garage tomato, one of them. So I got early ones. That was an extraordinary tomato. So I'm glad you're growing it. So the mine got put out while I was at work. By the time I realized a lot were killed, partly why I'm waiting. Yeah. Live and learn. I saw you come in, Kathy. Hey there, my friend. Kina says, if I put tomatoes in my husband's garage, he will get a heart attack. But I've talked about the one is drag in and out every day. Only one? Will you tell us which one? Or are you trying to decide? Anna says, I'm looking over my last 4 years of tomato notes, and this is the week I normally start, and the spring seems a few weeks earlier. I'm in Northern Ontario, Canada. Hi, Anna. Glad you're here. Yeah, normally I will tell myself things like, swear to me I won't do it. And I don't listen to myself, but I'm really pretty good at listening to myself this year. I'm waiting until after the full moon in late May. Smart. Definitely Uptown Funk, says Cynthia. Good. All right. Oh, Kina said it was a typo. It wasn't just one, it's ones. I know, I should know you better by now. Amanda, I don't know if I missed the comment. Which dwarf longkeeper are you growing? Is it, I know I'm pretty sure I gave you Sicagno. Is that one of the ones you're growing? I know I gave you a couple longkeeper dwarfs. I think I did anyway. Sicagno we grew last year before I knew it was a longkeeper, and we weren't all that impressed. It's a dwarf longkeeper, and we just thought it was for fresh eating and just thought it was, thick skin and not that great. Now that I know it's a longkeeper, it would have been a completely different story. I would have stored those things and let them really concentrate in flavor. So I'm glad. Yeah, Sicagno. Okay, and the one with the K. Good. I'm so glad. I know you were looking for those. Francis says, getting ready to transplant in Gulf Coast, Alabama this weekend. Zone 9A. Good for you. A little jelly. But one of the great things of this being a worldwide group is that we get to enjoy people's harvests at all times of the year. Cindy C, one of our members from the Philippines, she's harvesting now some beautiful tomatoes. And those of you in New Zealand and Australia, you've got a season going on right now too. So exciting. All right, let me get back to this. We're already an hour 15, and it's only for 16 varieties. What's our next one? Another Bill Yoder one. And I know this is Jen's most wanted, Jen Joy. It's her most wanted. This one's called Strange Love. And that's a picture of Bill holding up his creation. This is another one from the Depeche Mode series that Linda Wicker Downing gave me seeds for. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Linda. I put 2 seeds in soil just yesterday and told Jen as long as those germinate, and I don't expect that they won't because they came from Bill and directly through Linda, but she will get my other 2 seeds. So fingers crossed for Jen, and fingers crossed that this germinates. What a gorgeous tomato. I don't know anything about the crosses. He said the name developed in his brain as he was staring at the tomato and thinking, that is a strange looking tomato. It is a strange love apple. Love apple is another name for tomatoes. That he thought that is a strange love apple. Strange Love, which is the name of a Depeche Mode song. He said the picture portrays the tomato just prior to full ripeness. The color will deepen if left to ripen further. And then he's got some lyrics to the song. I don't have a picture of what the inside looks like, I don't think. I can't wait to see this one. The man is just a breeding genius. He really is. He's so meticulous. And I've been told this by Sean from Bounty Hunter Seeds, is a big fan of Bill's work. He is so meticulous with his, what's the word I'm looking for? Stabilizations. In fact, we talked during our episode, one of the Prince lines or Prince varieties is called Purple Rain, not to be mistaken with Purple Rain, Reign. This is Purple Rain, like the song, Rain. That is a further stabilization of Bill's from Dwarf Purple Heartthrob. Like I started to say, he's so meticulous that he wanted to take Dwarf Purple Heartthrob and stabilize it even further. So while he said during our episode they probably will taste the same, Purple Rain and Dwarf Purple Heartthrob are actually technically same variety, but further stabilized. And that's just Bill. He's meticulous, and I appreciate that about him. Oh, you've tasted it already, Missy, have you? It's very, oh, you're asking, I'm sorry. Is it very acidic? I like those better than the sweet. I don't know. At this point, Bill, as far as I know, is the only one who has tasted it, but we will find out in a couple months for sure. Oh, Luke, you got seeds also. Excellent. I think I knew that. I see. Hi, Anna's here. Are loan keepers only referring to those you can tie together or hang up, or also ones that store well in boxes? They're also ones that store well in boxes. It's really just a storage tomato. You can hang them. Hanging pianolo is another name for hanging, as a ramelette. That just means hanging, but they're really storage tomatoes, long keepers. Good question. Good question. They don't need to be hung up. There are various ways. If you watch my episode back with Evan Gregoire, he showed some current long keepers he had back in January and ones he had stored in a box. So that was a great episode. And Luke is very sweet. Fingers crossed for Jen. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I can't imagine. I planted 2 intentionally because one of them will germinate. But let's face it, They almost always germinate, don't they? And especially coming directly from the breeder. They're both going to germinate. I won't be able to get rid of one. So I foresee in the future Jen will be getting these. I had started um I wish I had started these seeds a few weeks ago so we knew for sure. But that's okay. I thought of it yesterday. Cynthia, take a big bite on camera so I can live vicariously. Oh, you know I'll be doing a live taste test on this one. Garden Girl says, I can't wait to receive the prize I won from Bill Yoder the day he was on your live. I've gotten a lot of um, a lot of things out already. I don't know if yours was from Bill directly or from me. I got like 16 more out yesterday between my lives and the Bill Yoder episode. There's more to come. I kind of run out of hours in the day, but I swear they're to come. I'm not too far behind, but I am a little bit. Luke says, Purple Rain is not acidic and all big ones. Good to know. Good to know. I'm hoping to get Purple Rain this year. Yeah, he does not have those in stock at the moment. Bill does not. I do happen to have some, so I started. That is a dwarf, and I do have those established. Where are they? Dwarf, Purple Rain. Yeah, I've got two of them. Not to make you jelly or anything. Right here. Got two of them I need to separate and start adding soil to. These were started on February 12th, but they're dwarfs, so they don't grow as fast. One of the reasons I feel comfortable starting dwarfs early. So yeah, Purple Rain. If you can't get your hands on Purple Rain, you can try with Dwarf Purple Heartthrob. Those are a bit easier to get. All right. I keep saying back to our regularly scheduled programming. Let's get through this. All right, the Stratus Strangelove, beautiful tomato. Next one is another unique one. I was fortunate enough to be given seeds by Teresa Smith from Terra Nova Farm. It is in limited release. It is called Pixie Fire. These are an elongated cherry. I mean, I'm not sure I need to say anything else. Look at these. Just look at these. What else do I know about them? They're a Terra Nova Farm exclusive and limited release. She says they'll be offering very limited release for 2024. Black elongated cherries with green stripes on a regular leaf plant. They are indeterminate. I mean, come on. Come on. This immediately, when I didn't know I was getting these seeds, we did a trade and she added these in. So very kind. And they immediately went on my must grow list. Facebook user says beautiful. I agree. It's so cute. I assume you mean the Purple Rains. Yeah, I agree. Oh, here's my Depeche Mode Bill Yoder angel right here, Linda. Thank you again for the seed, Linda. I will be thanking you probably forever, just so you know. She says gorgeous. I agree. Kathy says, what a beauty. Agreed. Oh, wow. What a beauty. They look like they'd be a smoky mouthful. They do look like they would be a little smoky, don't they? Yeah, excited for these. Teresa, if you are watching, thank you very, very much. Much appreciated. Okay, next. If you watched my Bounty Hunter seeds unboxing, you will have seen this variety. This is called Toad Suck Toad. It's a very rare variety by the late, I believe, am I right about that? The late Steve, I don't know if it's Whiteacre or Whitaker. I'll say Whiteacre. It is late. Sean from Bounty Hunter Seeds, who is awesome, by the way. If you guys didn't watch that unboxing episode, you want to. Several of my must grow list are from him this year. He says he got these directly from Steve back in 2017. It's a mid-season tomato plant with regular leaves, indeterminate, produces 1 to 3 ounce delicious green tomatoes. They have a sweet flavor that leaves your mouth watering for more. I've got to admit, the name does it for me, but of course, I'm a big fan of Green When Ripe. Yeah, that name is amazeballs. Totally agree, Nicole. Totally agree. Cheryl says, love the name. Oh, Cynthia, you got it. Awesome. Yeah, it's great. It's great. And it just looks like it's going to be so juicy. He got me with the rare. He got me with the Green When Ripe. the name, it's got the whole package. Excited to grow that one. Sean says it's one I want. Yeah. I'm like a cheerleader. I I was a cheerleader as a, when I was young, but like when I find something I'm excited about, everybody's got to know about it. I guess that's why I love doing these lives so much. Um, what's the smallest container you can put dwarf tomatoes? A first for me. You know, dwarfs really vary, Terry. They're not all one size. I've seen dwarfs that are listed at 5 feet. I believe Craig LaHoulier from the Dwarf Tomato Project calls dwarfs anything between 2 to 4 feet, or maybe it's 2 to 5 feet. I think it might be 2 to 4 feet. So there's a big difference. I consider mini dwarfs anything up until 2 feet, and that's where dwarfs come into play. I've grown mini dwarfs, or 2 feet tall mini dwarfs, and I'm growing some right now, as a matter of fact, in 2-gallon pots. Even I'm doing one in a 1-gallon grow bag. I do pretty much all in grow bags, no longer really do pots. I love grow bags for the air pruning qualities. My plants are just healthier with those. So, I would say anywhere between 3 to 5 gallon. I did all of my dwarfs last year in 5-gallon grow bags, and they thrived. I did actually I did one in ground, and it really took off. So it's going to really perform based on the size you have it in. But if you're looking for what the smallest is, I would look at what that height is. Feel free to private message me or email me and ask. But the taller the dwarf, the bigger the grow bag. So I would say, if it's 2 foot dwarf, you can put it in 2 to 3 gallon grow bags, preferably 3. Anything above, 3 to 5 feet, I would put in 5 gallons. Some people do 10. I find, it depends on what you want it for too. If you want to get as many tomatoes in as you can and space is limited, try 5 gallon. I think they'll do really well. I didn't have any production issues last year. It's just that one I put in ground in with my mushroom compost, like went crazy. Dwarf Adelaide Festival. Is 42 day a dwarf tomato? Hi, Maria. Glad you're here. I don't know offhand. I think it is a dwarf determinate, but if somebody can answer that question for Maria, that would be great. Yeah, if somebody can answer that. I haven't grown 42 day. I'm almost positive it's a determinate. And often determinates are dwarfs. So let's see if we can find out answers to that. Ooh, I had to have toad suck toad too. Hey, Cindy. Deborah, do your grow bags get mold on them? If so, how do you clean them? Not often. Sometimes, I hose them down at the end of the season, but they don't get super moldy. Mildew, I guess is what you're talking about, getting some mildew on them. I've got some that have been out all winter, not intentionally, but they're out there. I had intended on cleaning up everything before winter kicked in, and, best of intentions, have a couple groups to run. You know how that goes. So the dwarf idea, is that the height of tomato? Yes. So Craig LaHoulier, who's going to be on Tomato Talk Live on April 5th, he's one of the co-founders of the Dwarf Tomato Project, also the author of Epic Tomatoes. And the idea behind dwarfs is to have full-size tomatoes on shorter plants. He used to do them all in 5-gallon paint buckets in his driveway. If you get the book Epic Tomatoes or go on his website, he will show pictures of those. That's how he used to do all of his, I think, regulars and dwarfs in 5-gallon paint buckets in his driveway. Now he does a lot in straw hay bales, and he has a book on that also. We'll be talking about during our live, how to grow vegetables in straw bales. So yeah, the idea behind the Dwarf Tomato Project was to get full-size tomatoes on shorter plants, so they're easier for others in apartments and all of that to be able to grow tomatoes. It was a genius idea. It is dwarf size. Not sure if it has the dwarf gene. Well, they are bred with other dwarfs, maybe even micro dwarfs. I'm not really sure. Now there's so many of them out there that I think they breed each other, but how the initial ones were bred, I'm not positive. That we will have to ask Craig about next month. Linda says, I've not seen it called a dwarf. 42 days early, determine it, I think. Yeah, I agree. I haven't seen it called a dwarf either, but I haven't really paid much attention. So, all right, let's get to more. This one looks great. This one's been on my must grow list for quite a while. It's an exclusive from Bunny Hop Seeds, my friend Ellie from Bunny Hop Seeds. It's called Prime Rib. I love the name. It looks like prime rib. What does she say about it? It's deep reddish chocolate beefsteak, solid tomatoey flavor. Oh, can't wait. I chose the name prime rib because the thick, meaty slices reminded me of excellent quality aged beef from a fancy steak restaurant, not the wimpy, fake pinkish red of supermarket steaks, but the real dark brownish red of aged beef with complex flavors. The cross came about in 2013 when I tried to find a tomato variety of any color but red that could be grown in the ground in my challenging climate and under a large insect disease load. She's down in Florida. I did not find one, so I made a cross of a disease resistant red salad hybrid to a delicious and renowned purple beefsteak, black from Tula, very famous heirloom. The cross was successful and several segregates were pursued. I highly recommend prime rib to anyone who struggles to grow heirloom tomatoes in a hot, humid climate and who loves intensely flavored slabomator on sandwiches and other fresh eating applications. My photo of the sliced fruit, which is this photo, shows it at not fully ripe. You can see the greenish cast to the gel. I think I have a better photo from this season to post as soon as I have the time. Well, she hasn't had the time. So if it gets only deeper than this, I think I'm in for a big, big treat. Bunny Hop is a cute name. You may also know them as Heritage Seeds Market. Bunny Hop Seeds is part of Heritage Seed Market. I think it's heritageseedmarket.com. And so she's a very talented breeder. I'm growing several of her micro dwarfs right now. But she's a very talented person and nice person also, but very prolific breeder. She's got a ton of varieties. Heritage Seed Market, Google that, you will find their website. Very nice. I agree. That looks delicious. I bet it has the umami flavor Jen raves about. That's what I'm hoping for. And gotta love its meaty tomato. I agree. So that's prime rib. Okay. I think we've got three more. Okay. Purple Light. This is another one that I found from Sean at Bounty Hunter Seeds. Purple Light. He told us this is another rare one. Mid-late season, regular. I don't know anything about the breeder or the origin. He doesn't either. Regular leaf produce these bicolored black beefsteak fruits ranging from 12 to 16 ounces. An indeterminate, which is a heavy producer of these fruits up until frost. The flavor is very good, being sweet and acidic that lasts long on the palate. It was in his top 10 list last year for flavor and productivity. Sign me up, man. Purple Light. I think I have extra seeds for this, so I will offer that as one of the prizes. Make sure you type in #tomato. If I'm wrong and I don't have the seeds, I will give you a choice of other things, but put in #tomato. Where's the date? I got to write these down. Purple Light. Okay. We'll offer that as one of the options. All right. That's Purple Light. What's next? Oh, surprise, surprise. Another Jarson. Name is Jarsona. Has nothing to do with Kriesowski. That's apparently cross. This is a cross between Malachite Box or Malachitовая Шкатулка and Kazula 25. Kazula 25 is a cross of Copia and a pink variety. So this this particular version is from Lux Tomatoes, Lux, in Latvia. I'm also growing several other versions that look like this. See how different they all are? This is just showing how unstable, beautifully, magically unstable Jarsons are. And I can't wait to grow so many of them. I don't think I'm growing all 4 because I'm running out of space, but look at just how different all these versions are. Spectacular. So this one by Lux Tomatoes is a showstopper. Riverdale Gardens, that is a good looking tomato right there. Agreed. Oh, I love seeing all the #tomatoes after announcing Purple Light. Do I have extra Toad Suck Toad? I might. I'm going to put that on the list too, Toad Suck Toad. If I don't have these and you win, I will substitute with something else. I know I have Billy Yoder's Little Red Corvette from Sean, so I'll put that on the list too. So far we've got Purple Light, Toad Suck Toad, Little Red Corvette. And I'll give you guys a choice after you win. I'll pick 5 winners tonight. Okay. Cynthia says, wow, yeah, it's gorgeous. Oh, and Heidi, I love Kazula 25. Excellent. Good to know. I haven't grown it. I grew Kazula 24 last year. But Heidi and I are working on growing out a couple of Kazulas together this year, aren't we, Heidi? Excited about that. I think I'm going to list one of those tomorrow. Kazula is similar to the Jarsons in that Kazula is she's a female breeder from Poland named Anna Jankowski. And boy, she's got a couple hundred crosses. Jarson's got 35 with different versions. She's got, I think she's up to 230 something. I think that's what I've got on my cross list. And again, more different versions. And she uses spectacular crosses as well. So I'm growing out several different of Kazulas as well. So that's Jarson 7. And then my final one is another from Sean from Bounty Hunter Seeds. He does not have them in stock unless he's put them in the last couple days. When I did my unboxing, he said, Lauren, you're killing me because I don't have any of these in stock. This is called Butterscotch Stripes. Dean Slater is the breeder from the United States. Let's see. Sean says, came out of a cross. Dean Slater of Michigan did. Oh, they came out of his Shadow Dancer cross. There will probably be variants of these tomatoes because we are not sure of the stability. Yay! We planted a few plants. This was the only one that was different. So we made sure we saved the seeds separate from the Shadow Dancer tomato. These tomatoes have a gorgeous butterscotch coloring to them along with green stripes. A mid-season tomato plant with regular leaves. They are also an indeterminate variety that produces these 3 to 5 ounce beefsteak tomatoes. The flavor of these stunning tomatoes blends acidic with some citrus notes. A unique tasting tomato for slicing, sandwiches, salads, or fresh eating. So that is 16 out of 150 or something of my tomatoes this year. That only took an hour and hour 37 minutes. I really need to stop with the tomato talk. Seriously, I get a little carried away, but I like talking with all you guys for sure. Depending upon how many I get, I will send you the pre-released Nightingale tomato. I don't know the Nightingale tomato, Cynthia. What is that? Sounds intriguing. I don't know if you're talking to me about sending me that, but that would be awesome sauce. Thanks. Kazula crossed with Jarson, got to be good. I know, right? Kazula crossed with Jarson and Malachite box, right? Great. I want seeds for this Jarson. Yeah, I wish I could offer that as a prize, but I don't have any to spare, unfortunately. Kristen says, grew butterscotch stripes, and it is good. Definitely a must grow. Good to know. Good to know. Luke says, don't stop. Haha. I know. Well, if I'm going to do this again tomorrow, and I will try to do this again tomorrow. Now, Nuray, hey, Nuray, we will continue tomorrow. Yes. And I will try to get more up. I was going to say, I'll try to get more up tomorrow, but man, can I do more than 16? Now we're going on like 2 hours. All right. So let's give away some prizes. So I already got Purple Light. I'm going to give you guys a choice. I'll give away 5. Purple Light, Toad Suck Toad, Little Red Corvette. I might have enough for 1 Jarson 7. I'll say Jarson 7. And if I'm not trying to give away what I don't have, I think I can make that work. If I, I'll give you good options, trust me. Jarson 7, and then I'll also give you choice between my Jarson 1 tricolor, which is spectacular. I wish I could pull up a photo. Maybe I can. Let me try to go into the Facebook group real quick. I know I posted it in there probably several times because I think it's just, maybe I put it on Instagram. Can I pull up there? It's just the most spectacular tomato ever. That is a cross between Copia and Great White, believe it or not. It was a really a big surprise hit for me last year, because it was really an afterthought. Here it is. All right, let me pull this up on the screen. Present, share screen. And this is my Instagram account. Here it is. This is my Jarson 1 tricolor. I've only seen one other place, I think in the Ukraine, that has the version that looked like this. Even when I got the seeds originally from Tomato Eden, even her version doesn't look like this. It's phenomenal. So if you got Jarson 1 from me, this is what you got. So I'm going to offer this, what I'm calling Jarson 1 tricolor, as an option, and then I'll offer my Jarson 18.3. How about that? And if you want, I'll throw in Malachite box. I'll give 5 winners a choice of those because I talk about it all the time, and it really. Oh, and Bananas Noir. I don't know. If you've traded with me before, chances are you've got Bananas, you've got Jarson 1, you've got 18.3, but I'll put up all those for sale for the 5 winners, and we will go. I know, Luke. Isn't that great? I assume I gave you seeds for this, right, Luke? I know I did. I had to have. You may have to go to 160, so 10 lives with 16 each. All right, if you say so, I will do it. I will do it. We've got 60 viewers, which is just incredible. You guys are so supportive, and so you make me feel normal. You're my people. You're my people. One last call for hashtag tomato, just like this. Put in the comments, and we'll do 5 giveaways. And if I've already promised you a giveaway and you haven't gotten it yet, you're very close because like I said, I gave away. My internet went down yesterday and the day before for a few hours. So I was able to get away a whole bunch of prizes. I get a little behind, but I don't usually get too carried away. I did a few months ago, but that's over and done with. Okay, got everybody? Satya says our tribe. I know our vibe attracts our tribe. Oh, you do have Jarson 1 from me. Fantastic. And I am growing Jarson 1 from you. Can't wait. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Miss Alex M. Never heard of any of them. Good. Good. I think that's part of why I put them on my must grow list. Like, I'm most excited about the ones that either I've never heard of or recently heard of or rare or limited edition, all of that. Deb says, you are normal. We are your tribe. I'm so glad. I'm so glad to have you guys as my tribe. Awesome. Okay. Let's go. 5 winners. And please private message me on Facebook if you're in the Facebook group. If you are only on my YouTube channel, you can reach me at my email address, which is learny@me.com. There it is in the comments. Oh, Brian's here. My grow and wish list keep getting bigger. Thanks, Lauren. You're welcome. You're welcome, my friend. All right, we'll give away 5 of these. So private message me or email me if you win, and we'll work out your prize. Here we go. Good luck. First one. Number 1. Katie B. See, Katie B is watching from YouTube. If you are in the Facebook group, if you can private message me, that's great. If you're not, just email me in the email address in the comments. I think my email address is on my YouTube channel as well. So congratulations. Am I showing this? Whew. It was a couple weeks ago. I think I was doing a giveaway and I was like giving away prizes and I didn't have the screen shared and everybody's like, I don't know what you're looking at. All right. Next one. That's number 1. Number 2. This has been fun. Sathya. Congratulations. Boy, Sathya, you've been pretty lucky lately. Am I wrong? Congratulations. I'm trying to look at my list. Is there anything on here you don't have? We'll work something out. All right, number 3. Garden Girl. Congratulations, Garden Girl. I think you won something recently too. I've done so many lives. Chances are you guys have all won something already. And I love to give away prizes. Jen does as well. And boy, join us on Friday. If you're in TLC, join us for our 3,000 member party. Kim Wallace. Gosh, Kim, I keep owing you more seeds. Congratulations. I already have a list of things I owe you and have been I meant to message you yesterday because I don't have your address. So if you can private message me with your address, you probably did give it to me and I just lost it. Anyway, Friday, our 3,000 member celebration. We're going to be giving away oodles and oodles of not just seeds, but we've had more members coming to me even just today offering gift certificates and like you guys are just the most generous people. I don't even know what to say. We vendors like Sean, who's donated seeds, Val Smith from Val's backyard. We're giving some from her. A couple of vendors or members rather that some wish to remain anonymous, but it's going to be fantastic. So join us 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only in the group. This won't be on the YouTube channel. It's only for members of TLC. All right, we still have one more to give away. Last one. Number 5. Last but not least, Grace Chang. Grace, I just talked to you yesterday. You won something else that you were not aware of. So congratulations, Grace. I will add, I don't think I sent yours yet. I will add whatever we choose for you to that. So congratulations to all of our winners. And great live. I could look at tomatoes all day. I'm so glad because you pretty much have just now. I'm like, oh, it'll be less than an hour. Nice short one. Not with me at the helm. Oh no, not with me at the helm. Everybody says congratulations. Satya says, yes, I go in winning spurts. It's been 20 years, but I used to win all the time. Good to know. I don't, but actually I won something at Big Joe's show, I think a couple months ago. And the weird thing is like, I never win anything. I never win anything. But that night when he started drawing and he uses StreamYard too, and that same giveaway, I had a feeling he's going to pick a name. It was really weird. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. Uh-oh. I see my internet going out again. Hang on. Okay. I'm breaking up. Is this getting better? Testing, testing. Okay, I think we're better now. Anyway, I know I was just breaking up there again. Guys, thank you so much for your support, for watching. I will try to come back tomorrow and do another one of these with some more tomatoes for you to look at. And the more I say it with you live and now it's recorded, I can't change. So now we've got 16 must grows. So I will see you next time. Peace and love. Get your gratitude on and go grow tomatoes. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Have a good night, good day. Bye now.